How to make an apple pie for Thanksgiving. First, you need to gather your ingredients. You will need flour, sugar, milk, vinegar, 1 egg, shortening, cinnamon, nutmeg, and apples, pie plates, parchment paper, bowls, knives, spoons, an apple cutter, measuring cups, and a rolling pin. Start by making the crust. You will need 2 cups of flour. Make sure to scrape off any extra flour from the top. Next, add your vegetable shortening. You'll need 1 cup. 1 cup is half the block of Crisco. Place half in the bowl. Use 2 butter knives to mix the shortening in with the flour. Have your knives meet in the middle and drag them across the bowl. Keep this process going until the dough begins to crumble. Next, you will need to add in some salt. You will need 1 teaspoon of salt. Next, add 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Knead all of these ingredients together. Keep kneading all of the ingredients together until you can make a large ball of dough. Once you are finished, place the dough in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Now it's time to make your filling. Use your apple cutter to cut your apples. Remove the core. Next step, peel the skin off the apple. You could do this with either a knife or a potato peeler. Make sure all core from the apple is removed and slice in half. Once all your apples are cut, set them aside. Next, lay out parchment paper and add flour. Place the dough in the center. Flour your rolling pin to ensure the dough does not stick to it. Roll out your dough until it is thin and large. Once your dough is all rolled out, it is time to prep your pie plates by adding some flour to the bottom. Slide your hand underneath the parchment paper and hold the pie crust in the middle. Flip it over and add to your pie plate. Gently remove the parchment paper from the dough. Press your pie shell down into the dough and take a knife and cut around the edges to remove any excess dough from the sides. Now add your apples. It is best to layer the apples and pack them in tight. Next, make your filling mix. Your filling mix includes half a cup of sugar, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and about 3 to 4 dashes of nutmeg. Mix all of these ingredients together. Add a tablespoon of flour and mix again. Pour this mixture over your apples. You want to spread this mixture as evenly as possible throughout your pie. You will need to add 1 more layer of apples to your pie. This will ensure that the crust will not burn due to the sugar being at the top. With the extra dough that was removed from your pie shell, use this to create the top of your pie. Roll the dough out nice and thin so that it's large enough to cover the top of your pie. Before adding the top onto your pie, sprinkle a tablespoon of milk onto the apples. Spread some water with your fingers around the edges of the pie. This will help the top of your pie to stick to the shell. Add the top to your pie. Use a fork to seal the top to the bottom. Once you're finished pressing the edges together, use your fork to poke a few holes for ventilation in the top of the pie. This will help to prevent your pie from cracking. For a more decorative look, you can add some sugar to the top. Finally, take a butter knife and cut off the excess dough. Your pie is now complete and ready to go in the oven. Place your pie plate on a metal tray inside the oven at 375 for 45 to 50 minutes. And voila! Your pie is now ready for Thanksgiving dinner.